Hey guys, you're welcome back to Volmage Fit. Here we'll learn tips, techniques, and tricks of making beautiful and amazing outfits. So, based on popular demand on my other social media handles, I'm going to be showing you how I drafted this corset pattern to make this very beautiful corset top. Please, if you're here for the first time and you're not yet subscribed to my channel, do not forget to push on that subscribe button and hit on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I post new video tutorials. Please do not forget to like this video and drop your comments or your question below. Please guys, help share this video so more people can get to see this and learn as well. So guys, if you'd like to learn how to draft this very beautiful corset top, then follow me to my pattern drafting. So guys, I have a video already on this corset top, and that was on how to make adjustments to your already made cup should in case you want to use already made cup for this top. So this is the pattern drafting on how to draft this beautiful corset top, and I'm going to be taking you through the process step by step. So I have some lines ruled out and I'm going to be adding more lines to them. I have my shoulder line, my shoulder to chest line, my shoulder to my bust point, and my shoulder to my under bust line. I'm going to be adding my shoulder to waistline, which I'll be using 17 inches, and then my shoulder to the full top length, which I'll be using 22 inches. You can go ahead to make use of 25 inches depending on your body measurement and how long you want your corset top to be. Guys, take note, this is an inbuilt corset top and this measurement is for a smaller person. That is why I'm using 22 inches. But if you're on the bigger side, then you can extend the length to 25 or 26 inches. So here is my shoulder line divided by 2, and I'll come down also on my chest line to take that same measurement. And on this line I'm going to come down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope and also by 3 inches for my basic neckline measurement. So on this point I'm going to divide this armhole line by 2 and take my midpoint and go in by 0.75 inch to create my armhole curve. So I'm going to rule a straight line to that point and curve it into my chest line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to impute my nipple to nipple measurement, which will create my dart line. And on this measurement I'll be using 3.5 inches, but guys, you can go ahead to use your own nipple to nipple measurement. So the next step I'm taking is for my under bust and my over bust tightening. And to create my over bust line, I'll go up by 2 inches. This is to help your bust to cover up properly. And on my under bust, I'll go in and out by 1 inch on each sides of the dart line. Then to my over bust line, which is my upper chest line, I'll take same process as I did for my under bust. And the next thing will be to connect my under bust to my bust point and then to my upper chest line. That is the point I made on my upper chest line. So as you can see, I am connecting these points with a curve line. And then the next thing will be to rule out a straight line from my under bust to my full top length. On my center front, I'll go up by just half an inch from my chest line. You can go lower depending on the effect and the coverage you want for your center front. And then I'll go in by half an inch on my chest line, and I'll do the same thing on my bust point. So I'm going to connect these 2 points with a straight line and then curve it into my under bust line. To get the curve line for my side front, I'll take the measurement between my bust point and under bust, and mine is 3.5 inches. So from here I'll measure out 3.5 inches and connect with a curve from my under bust into my chest line. So now I'll connect from the half inch point on my center front into my armhole with a very nice curve line, and then I'll connect this point into the mid center line. So guys, if you're following well, the next step to take is to impute my body measurement into my drafting. Here will be my bust measurements divided by 4, and on my waistline I'll be snatching by 2 inches. Originally the waist measurement is 27 inches, but I'll be reducing it to 25 inches to get a snatched waist. So I'll divide that by 4 and put down the measurement, and then measure between these 2 dart legs and also include that in my measurement, and that is to make up for the space in between the dart legs. So for the full length, since this top is not up to the hip line, you can go ahead to subtract between 1.5 to 2 inches away from your hip measurement, divide that by 4, then put the point down. So for my chest line, I'll impute my bust measurement, add about half an inch, then connect all these points together with a straight line. So the next thing I'm going to do is to add about 1.5 inches for my side seam allowance. So remember, this top is about 22 inches, which is the length of the upper hip line or the lower waistline. So from here I'm going to be taking out 2 inches, so I'll go up by 2 inches on this point, and I'll connect from my dart line into this 2 inches point I made with a very nice curve. And this is the yoke or the topmost part of your corset drafting. Should in case you want to make use of this, just cut out your pattern pieces, then keep that aside. But for this top, this particular corset top, I will not be making use of a yoke. So I have separated the yoke from the lower part in case you want to make use of the yoke. That is why I'm making this very part. All you need to do is to take your preferred neckline measurement, but for this I'll be using the basic neckline measurement, which is 3 by 3 inches. So this is how it will look like after imputing your neckline measurement, and then I'll cut out all these pieces. So remember guys, this is an inbuilt corset top, which means it's going to have either a skirt attached to it or a pant attached to it. That's what makes it an inbuilt top. So here I have all my pattern pieces cut out, and this is how my front pattern looks like. You can see how I'm checking my bust pattern paper to make sure they are of same length, so I don't have any issues when stitching them together. Since I would not be making use of the yoke, I'll just take that away. So I have my pattern set, and this is what I'm going to be using. So for my armhole, just create a little curve around here, and when cutting on your fabric with your pattern paper, make sure to include your seam allowance of 1/2 inch. So now that we are done with the drafting of the front pattern, I'm going to take all these pieces away, then draft my back pattern. So I have another paper set to draft my back pattern, and you know, this is a corset top without a yoke. So I'll be using the front yoke to measure out where my back neckline will start from. So for this I have 6 inches. That is where my over bust or my upper chest line starts from. So I'm going to be using that 6 inches to start my back neckline. So I'll mark the 6 inches here, and then come down to mark the 22 inches, which is my front length. But for my back length, I would go up by 2 inches, just like I did for the side front. This is for the side front and the back to measure up with each other. So I'll rule these lines out that I have marked, which is my 6 inches and then my 20 inches for the length. The next point I'm going to take down is my waistline, that is my shoulder to waistline, and then my shoulder to my bust point. So after putting down these marks, I'm going to roll them out. So here is my bust point, and then my half length or my waistline, and here is my full length. So this is my upper chest line, and the one other line I'm going to be adding will be my chest line. And I ruled out my upper chest line just for you to understand this better. So this is where my neckline is going to start from, that is my chest line. For my center back, I want it open with 4 inches. So assuming this paper is on fold, I'll measure out 2 inches, then connect the points together. The next step I'm going to take is to impute my dart measurement, after which I'll take down my body measurement. But for this back pattern, I would not be separating my dart line, and it's going to come out fine. So I'll take down the measurement, my dart measurement on each of these lines, and also my body measurement. I'll take down my exact body measurement aside my waistline, which I'm snatching by 2 inches. So remember, the upper chest line was just a guide to draft my back pattern. Then on my center back chest line, I'll go down by 1/2 inch. You can decide to go lower if you want a deep back neckline. At this point, I'm going to cut out this piece. But remember, I did not rule out my dart line because I would not be cutting it in two. I only took the point down in case you'd like to separate your back pattern. So the next thing I'm doing here is putting down my side seam allowance. I would cut out this piece and also cut out the 2 inches from my center back, because I want that part to be bare open. Assuming this paper is on fold, when it is opened wide, it will become 4 inches. So right now, our back pattern is set. Here I have my front and my back pattern paper set, and I'll go ahead to cut out on my fabric with some few pattern paper, just to show you where your 1/2 inch seam allowance will be included on your main fabric. So just as you cut your main fabric, make sure to cut your lining just the same way. So guys, we've come to the end of this very beautiful, simple and easy corset drafting tutorial. So I have another very detailed tutorial of making a corset top from start to finish. That is from the drafting to the stitching of the corset top. So I'll be including the link in my description box so it will be easy for you to access, because this tutorial is just to teach you corset drafting. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making this very beautiful video. Please guys, do not leave without giving this video a thumbs up if this tutorial was helpful to you. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? I know you don't want to miss out on detailed and interesting tutorials like this, so please hit on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I post another beautiful and interesting tutorial video. Please help share this video by clicking on the share button and sharing the link so others can get to see this and learn how to make their own corset top without a yoke. So at this point, I hope you'd join me in my next video tutorial to learn more with me. So from here, it's goodbye and I'll see you soon.